What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Crypto Crossroads. What if I told you that the Crypto.com Ethereum Lion was inspired by the Lydian Lion, which is made out of Electrum and possibly one of the first real coins in human history? Let's talk about it. But before we do me a quick favor and hit the like and subscribe button so we could get the show started. Okay, so first things first, let's analyze these two tokens and we'll start with the crypto.com logo. And it's clear as day that the logo is resembling the face of a lion, right? If you look to the right side, you will be looking at the Lydian coin, which existed somewhere around 600 BC, and it displays the profile of a lion with what appears to be a sun behind it, right? So let's do this. Let's go to the crypto.com logo and see what the company has to say about this old coin back in 600 BC. So the website reads about the crypto.com logo, the Ethereum Lion. And this was updated over 2 years ago, somewhere around 2023. The website reads, our logo represents the Ethereum Lion. The lion as our symbol symbolizes strength, trust, and courage. As a company, we have operations in Hong Kong, where the lion is a symbol of the largest bank, and Singapore, also known as the Lion City. Therefore, the symbolism is close to our hearts, right? So, here, how I'm taking this small passage is that symbolism is clearly important to crypto.com, and they chose a lion to represent the face of the company, right? And Singapore is actually where the company is headquartered in. Even though it has offices in different regions, Singapore is still the most important office to crypto.com. Now, it also mentioned Hong Kong, where the lion is a symbol of the largest bank, right? And that's what crypto exchanges are, in my opinion. They're essentially banks because they do hold money and they do hold assets that are worth money in the market, right? Now, Hong Kong is important for crypto.com because in 2016, this company was not known as crypto.com, but it was actually known as Monaco, right? And somewhere around 2018 is when Monaco decided to rebrand as crypto.com. So the Monaco ICO token was converted into a CRO token, right? But that's a deep dive for another time. But that's how crypto.com has connections to Hong Kong and it has a strong presence there. So let's continue to the website and scroll down. And as you guys can see, it reads a bit of history as well. The Electrum Lion. The earliest coins were not made of gold or silver, but of electrum, a naturally occurring gold silver alloy, right? And that's pretty much, it's just telling us it was not made of absolute gold or absolute silver. It was a combination of the two, right? Let's continue. The Electrum Lion coins of ancient Lydia, considered the world's first true coins, are thought to date from about 610 to 560 BC, featuring the Lydian king's emblem, a roaring lion. So we know that the lion is a very important animal that represents strength, power, and authority. So I like how crypto.com did that, right? They're telling us that they are trying to dominate this crypto space. So I like that. Now let's go and visit the website for the Willamette University, which is in the US, just to get a little more background information on this ancient coin. And as you guys can see, it was located in today's western modern Turkey, and it was established in 650 to 600 BC. And even a Greek historian, Herodotus, actually acknowledged that this was a combination of silver and gold, right? Now, if we scroll down a little, you'll see that the device of the lion on these coins has often led to the assumption that they were issued by a royal power, the kings of Lydia. In truth, we cannot say for certain who minted these earliest coins. So let's break that down, right? Because from my understanding, for anybody or any group of people to actually issue an official coin, you need resources and you need authority, right? So it makes sense that the kings of Lydia actually minted these coins, right? Because you need the metals, which are the gold and the silver. You need, for lack of better words, you need the blacksmiths that could stamp these coins. We know which takes skill, time, and resources. Once again, and you need some type of rule or some type of law where people actually recognize these coins as having value. So most likely an authority or government issued these coins back in 600 BC, and those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you think down in the comment sections. Now, before we move on to Crypto.com's logo and its connections to these coins, just bear in mind this ancient coin was made out of alloy, gold and silver, which are essentially metals, right? And it's representing a lion. So if you go, or we together as a group, we go to the Crypto.com website, you guys can see that credit cards, but also debit cards are issued by Crypto.com. And you have several different tiers, right? So let me stop right there. I want to give you guys a disclaimer and let you guys know that I am not shilling these cards. I don't have one. I was not paid to talk about these, but I'm just trying to make connections between the Ethereum line of Crypto.com and the ancient Electrum Lion of Lydia back in 600 BC. So these Visa cards showcase a line, right? The Crypto.com logo that was influenced by the Lydian Lion. So there's a couple tiers that you could grab. Uh, the one that reads Midnight is actually a card that you can sign up for, and you do not need to stake anything. You don't need to lock up your CRO tokens, right? But then if you want to level up and receive more tiers and possibly have more status, uh, you could level up by getting the Ruby card by locking up $500 worth of CRO tokens. And then the next level will be the Jade or Indigo, and you have to stake $5,000 worth of CRO tokens, and so on. But the point I'm trying to make is, since the Midnight debit card doesn't require any commitment of tokens, then that card is actually made out of plastic, right? And that's where the quote unquote status comes in. Because when you start off with the Ruby and you level up to the very top, which is Obsidian or Prime, those cards are made out of metal, right? And that reminds me a lot of this Electrum Lion Coin that was one of the first coins in human history, because it's showcasing a lion and it was made out of metal, right? Just like these Crypto.com Visa cards. So to me, it's seeming like Crypto.com just took this ancient logo or this ancient coin and did a little spin-off and created its Visa card and also its logos, right? So that's just the connection I'm trying to make, right? As again, I'm not shilling these cards. I don't have one, but if you do and you want to share your experience with these cards, let me know down in the comment section. So yeah, guys, that's just it. Just a little history on the Crypto.com logo, and where it came from. This just came out of the blue because I was looking for different connections and I came across this and I wanted to share it with you guys. So if you guys like the information that I presented, please do me a quick favor and hit the like and subscribe button. I enjoy making these videos. If you guys have any questions or any thoughts, then please make it known in the comment section or reach out to me on Twitter X. My Twitter handle is Crypto X Roads. And again, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys on the next one. Remember that God is good. Peace.